Alright guys, we are recording. We are recording. It's going to be a very good action-packed stream tonight. Starting a little early, get everything rolling here. Hopefully everything will be good to go. Want to get everybody into the stream. Let's make sure it is sounding good. Make sure we have the stream chat is good. Let's see. Let's do a test here, guys. See what we got going on. Hopefully there'll be no issues. That is okay there. We're starting a little early tonight to get everybody into the stream. It's going to be a special 1 hour special tonight, as you might see on the thumbnail. I have not gotten the link yet, so it should be dropping shortly, I hope. There it is, just came in. It looks good too. Perfect. We're starting a little early tonight. Make sure everybody gets into the stream. It's going to be a 1 hour special stream tonight. Normally we don't do these a whole lot. I try to do them on special occasions. This is one of them, and so will be next week's stream, which we'll talk about further into tonight's stream. So, drink of choice tonight is we're doing some Dr. Pepper. Ultimate Killer, thanks for coming in, my friend. Thank you for coming in, my friend. We're going to be doing a special 1 hour stream tonight. We're talking Toy Fair 2019. Everything that I will be discussing tonight will be linked in the description box of the chat, as well as the video on demand. We'll have all of that information as well. So it's going to be a decent stream tonight. The Toy Fair 2019 was a really, really big show. And there's a lot to really unpack and digest from this show. And I want to do kind of the news about it and some of the big reveals, but unfortunately I don't want to destroy my computer in the process, so there'll be links in the chat box, and so you can follow along, as well as them being on the video on demand. So if you want to follow it there, you can as well. So let me make sure here we're good to go there. Perfect. So there'll be a lot to talk about tonight. Hopefully it'll be a good stream. I'm hoping everything is fine. Looks like OBS is fine for right now. Again, I don't want to kind of go between my monitors because it causes sometimes the stream to crash, and I don't want that to occur. I've already rebooted my computer, rebooted the network, and I don't want to take the risk of it breaking the stream apart. It's kind of difficult to recover once the stream crashes. So everybody's in the stream. I don't want to lose anybody in the stream as we're going along. That's the idea, rather. So we're going to about in a minute or two, then we'll start everything off. Hope I can do this in an hour. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed I can do this in an hour. There's a lot of news to... There's a couple of big points of news I wanted to dissect, first of all, before we do anything. Funko has probably the biggest reveal when it comes to all their stuff in Toy Fair 2019. Lots to talk about with Funko. As you guys know, or ultimately may know, that I'm a big Funko collector myself, so there's a lot of Funko reveals, a lot to talk about. So we'll dig into it in a second here. I'm doing some old school with some Dr. Pepper. And if I go through that, I have a small little bottle of it too over here. Okay, so let's dive into it right now. Hey Jackie, thanks for coming into the chat right now. So we're talking Toy Fair 2019. So I'll give you guys the rundown of how I'm going to do this. And I think they'll be a little bit better doing it this way. I'm going to be providing links in the chat. You can follow along. I'm going to put them on the video on demand. So in the description box, you'll see all the links I'll talk about basically in order. I have them all lined up right now. So you'll see all the stuff I'll be discussing in the stream. So I'll put each one in as I go progressively down the line. So let's start this off. We're at 9 o'clock right now, guys. So let's actually begin the stream for tonight. Again, it's my 1 hour special. We're recapping Toy Fair 2019. Of course, it's in New York. A few weeks ago, I did another stream. It broke, unfortunately, in two parts. But that was London's Toy Fair. And their Funko stuff didn't have a lot of rollover to this year's Toy Fair. So what they had was unique for London stuff, and they're doing stuff for this show was completely different stuff, at least from what I've seen. There might be a couple duplicate stuff, but for the most part, it was unique products. So let's first of all talk about the big news, and that's DC. That link will bring you to the website for Toy Ark. Toy Ark's a pretty well-known site. They handle a lot of stuff for Transformers, G.I. Joe, and they have their main toy sort of news. And it's the big news, in my opinion, of the show was McFarlane Toys gets the DC Comics license. This is rather surprising that that McFarlane Toys got the license. I didn't think they would get it. I don't understand why McFarlane Toys, of all toy companies... Hey, MIC, thanks for coming in the chat tonight. I don't know why McFarlane Toys, of all toy companies, would get this license for the DC for the DC Multiverse line. It's in the 6-inch to 12-inch scale. They consider it ultra posable, which is kind of a joke, so to speak, because McFarlane Toys, at least from some of the older toys I've seen, and I even got it out of a subscription box. I got the Commando Spawn. It's not a articulated, highly articulated figure. It's more of a staction piece where certain parts of the figure can be articulated. But it's already pretty much locked into a pose. And you'll have maybe be an elbow joint, maybe the neck or head would spin, and the waist would spin. But the legs were locked in place. There was no chest hinge, there was no chest rocker, so a lot of the articulation is already locked on the figure. So it's very, very weird that McFarlane would get the license. The odd thing going in was people were expecting that Spin Master had a piece of the license as well. So it looks like they kind of broke off portions of the DC license to other companies. That's what they're doing, it looks like, in this situation. But to have McFarlane Toys pick up the toy license is rather odd. I don't really understand why McFarlane Toys would be able to get the license to this stuff, especially the DC Multiverse. And they say specifically the Multiverse line, which means their comics, their movies, their TV deals, anything inside the DC franchise, so to speak, would be underneath this umbrella. But why they got it, I'm not quite sure. This begins in 2020, so everything going up this year in 2019 will still conclude with Mattel. It's unfortunate Mattel has lost the license because they were really starting to fire on all cylinders, and their stuff was getting better and better. Yes, there was a couple issues here and there, but it's nowhere near like NECA. NECA, I love the Predator stuff and the Alien stuff, and I mentioned before, the stuff looks very, very cool, but I have a big issue with it when it comes to their quality control. And to have stuff having issues in their products all the time is a big no-no to me. It's definitely a turn-off, and I don't really like it. So it's very, very weird that McFarlane Toys, again, of all companies, would have the rights to this product. It looks like Spin Master will be focusing on the mass market appeal toys. There was no products at San Diego Comic-Con. They won't see anything until at least then. They're targeting the same fans who are collecting DC Multiverse and DC Universe Classics to target this wave of this line of products. So if you like the Multiverse and you like the DC Universe Classics, you're supposed to quote-unquote like these figures as well. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. The license is for the DC Multiverse collector figures. That's what the license they hold for it is. So McFarlane has now the rights to DC Multiverse in the 6 and 12-inch figure scale. Who's going to get the smaller scale figures, let's say 3 3/4 inch scales, or anything lower, let's say 4 inch or 5 inch? That I don't know yet. I don't even know if Spin Master is going to have. I don't think Spin Masters will have the rights to those figures. I'm not quite sure. So that's something we don't know yet, at least from what I've seen. So that's the news again. For McFarlane Toys has now procured the DC. Hey, OMG, thanks for coming in to chat, my friend. We're talking Toy Fair 2019. Here's the link to the very first bit we're looking at. It looks like the McFarlane Toys has acquired the DC Comics property when it comes to 6-inch and 12-inch action figures. Awesome, Toronto. Thanks for watching all my stuff. So, again, I don't know why McFarlane Toys has picked up this license. Everything we're doing tonight, guys, will be in the description box of the video for every link I post here, as well as I'll drop every single link in the chat box. If you want to follow along, you can click those links. It'll bring you to the same thing I'm looking at right now. So I'm quoting off information, I'm not BSing anything. I'm pulling reputable sites and data and information. Next, we're going to take a look. Before I go to anything for Funko, I'm going to go to the smaller, not really the smaller news, but it's news that is less than Funko. Next, we're going to take a look at this link right here. It looks like, I don't know why, I can't tell you why Hasbro has decided to up their Black Series line of figures. What they've come out with is the Black Series hyper-realistic 8-inch figure line. The very first figure they're talking about is Darth Vader. Me personally, Rook personally, I don't like this figure. I don't like the way it looks. Something looks really off with the figure. I can't really place my finger on it, but I think it looks, maybe the helmet is off. I'm not quite sure. The biggest thing I want to take away with this, guys, is the price point. Yep, Paw Patrol and the Hatchables are one of their big properties right now. Drink of tonight's choices, Dr. Pepper. But one of the things they did for this Vader figure is the price point. This thing goes for $79 US. I think that is really bad in this day and age. You know, your typical action figures, even let's say in the 6-inch scale, you're looking at $20, maybe $22, $23 US. But to have it at $80 US is extremely expensive, and I think it's a very, very bad idea. It's very much in bad taste. Even though I like Star Wars, I'm a big Star Wars fan, I love the Black Series, I think this was a very much a step back for Hasbro. If you look at the figure, exactly, OMG, 100% agreed. It looks goofy. Something looks off with the figure. I don't know if it's the fabric cape. I don't know if it's the buck. It looks it looks off. Something just, I can't, like I said, I can't put my finger on it. It looks weird. Exactly, Jackie. It's very, very high. But I wanted to point this out to you guys because this is one of the big reveals they talked about on at Toy Fair. Why they went this direction, again, I don't know. It seems very, very weird to go in this direction where you have a very, very strong 6-inch wave of figures that are coming out in the more, you know, it's very detailed. It's hyper-articulated. The articulations are great on Black Series figures. Why they wanted to go into this direction, I can't put my finger on why they wanted to go down this road. Again, it seems really, really weird to take this approach. I'm not quite sure myself why they go down this road like this. It's very, very odd. So that's that particular one. I want to kill this link here, and I'll kill this link here. Next, we're going to take a look at this one. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. If you're a fan of Transformers, most of this next set of news will be coming from a site called Bleeding Cool News. They're very, very reputable. Their information is very, very sound. It's on the money. The stuff I want to point out at this, if you're a Transformers fan and if you're a Ghostbuster fan, they're coming out with, I believe, a 6-issue series of doing an amalgam between Ghostbusters and Transformers. And what they decided to do to pretty much launch this idea is they're making a figure in the old school G1 packaging called it's called Ectotron, which is the Ecto-1 turned into a Transformer. Do I want to get this? I might get this figure. I've stopped collecting Transformers. I mentioned before, many streams, many videos. About 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I stopped going from Transformers and G.I. Joe, I transitioned into Funko. So I stopped with G.I. Joe, stopped with Transformers. There are a couple figures out that I still want to eventually get my hands on. But the Ectotron looks really cool, and what I like about it the most is the old school packaging of a G1 design. And of course, it's the Ecto-1. It looks really, really cool. I'm thinking he might come with Slimer. I'm not 100% sure on that. It looks like he might, but it looks really, really cool. They're showcasing off some other things here, some masterpieces for Jazz, and I think it was for Jazz, and I think Megatron, I believe. They're going to be having a new, if you follow Transformers, they have Jetfire coming out for the Siege of Cybertron. Don't know what to think about that one. I have the Jetfire from, I think it was part of the Combiner Wars, but I don't know if it was in the Combiner Wars series, but in that sort of realm. It might have been their Generations line. I do have that Jetfire. It looks really, really good. Yep. A good place to check if you guys are interested. I wanted to talk about it on a toy hunt, but I just never got around to it. Check your 5 and Below. 5 and Below has some really good stuff. They're just, think of it like an upscale dollar store, a Dollar Tree, but everything has a cap at $5. So you might get something for $1 or $2, but it will never be more than $5. I saw the entire wave of the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 wave, which was the Mantis wave, I believe. They had the entire wave. Normally that would cost you about $120. It would cost you maybe $40, $45 for the entire wave. So definitely take a look at your 5 and Below. You can get good deals there. They have their Siege War of Cybertron wave is the next big thing they're doing right now. Again, I'm not a big fan of what they're doing with Transformers. I do like the new Starscream. If you scroll down to the bottom of that link, he's in his triangular jet mode. Looks really, really good. Reminiscent of the old school G1 cartoon. So, looks very, very cool. They have an Omega Supreme coming out, which looks good. And they have a Springer. I do love Springer. I do have him in Generations. This one for War of Cybertron doesn't look half bad. Car mode looks a little goofy. They have a new Prime. He looks all right. They have a Thundercracker, which of course will be a repaint of Starscream in the blue design, the blue deco. He looks all right. I'm more of a Skywarp guy. They have a Red Alert coming out at the bottom. It looks like maybe a Blitzwing maybe at the bottom there. But Omega Supreme does look good. He comes with a base mode. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see the Jetfire. It looks pretty good. It looks very more reminiscent of the cartoon version of Jetfire, as opposed to the other versions we've had. But he looks good. I do like the way he looks. They have a new drift. I guess it's a helicopter drift instead of being... yeah, it looks like just a helicopter. I don't think it's a triple changer, even though he's supposed to be a triple changer. They have Megatron Beast Wars, which looks very, very good. Hey, Mister, thanks for coming into the chat tonight, my friend. We're talking reveals for Toy Fair 2019. Here's the latest link we're looking at right now. We're doing some Transformers at the moment. Wheeljack looks very, very good. Mr. All the links that I'll be talking about will be in the description box of this video. I'll be dropping them as I go along. We haven't talked Funko yet. We're about to. We talked about the DC license being taken by McFarlane Toys in 2020. If you missed that, you can catch it on the video on demand. So, let's keep going here. Yep, so we're doing all the reveals that I possibly get my hands on as I can cram into an hour podcast, or stream rather. So, they have a new Prow, and they have a new, I think it's a Blue Streak, which is going to be a repaint, redeco of, I think it might be either a Masterpiece or it might be the Siege figures, Blue Streak version, which I love Blue Streak. He's one of my favorite guys. So they had a lot of stuff. If you want to scroll down that link, they even have, looks like, I don't know if they're Nikes, but they have a pair of Transformer shoes. They can't transform, but they look good. If you scroll all the way down, they have some Predacon stuff there. That's for the card game, if you were curious. So let's go to the next link here. Next thing we're talking about is Funko. We're going to talk Funko now, guys. So actually, no, before I talk Funko, let's go over to this one. I'm going to move it over here. Next one is coming from Mandatory Wrestle. This is from WrestleZone. It's a little bit of WWE Elite stuff. Mattel had their reveal. They're going to be doing a decent amount of stuff. As far as Elite Series stuff goes, they're going to be doing some, looks like possibly a battle pack of Hardy Boys they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing a Pat Patterson exclusive Walmart figure, Undertaker American Badass version with a Kane mask, Braun Strowman with a base. Yep, I'm excited also for AEW Toronto. Don't trust you me, I am. We're doing Braun Strowman with the big base he had on a Raw episode. We have Brie Bella with a shirt tied around her waist. You have a new Daniel Bryan figure, a Roman Reigns with the Universal title, and you have a King Mabel with a Chase variant. Keep your eyes open for the new chases for WWE Elite. It may be difficult to know if a figure has a chase because I believe the packaging does not have a label on it. But if you look at your pictures online, the easiest one to tell would be Shelton Benjamin. They have a normal version, and they have the I think it's called like the Golden Prospect or the Golden something, and he has gold hair and gold trunks. That's how you know if you have a chase variant. I believe they came with, I think it's like one of 6 in a case. Like, I don't know if it's one out of every case is this, or one out of every, they'll have 6 cases, and one out of those 6 cases would have a chase variant. So they're going to be very difficult to get your hands on. So keep your eyes open for the chase variants. King Mabel will be a chase variant as well. It looks like they'll be doing the ringside collectibles will be an Elite 2-pack with Hardy Boys in their Attitude Era with tag titles and cloth shirts. The WWE Basic Core Line 96 will have Sasha Banks, Sami Zayn, which will have a chase variant as well. Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, and Daniel Bryan. Battle Pack 59 will be an AJ Styles and Jinder Mahal. You'll have a Hardy Boys one and a Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. You'll have some WWE Retro Fest GameStop exclusive, which will be an Iron Sheik. He'll come with a turban, a robe, and some clubs. They're going to have some retros, which are the smaller figures. They'll have those. And you'll have the WWE Ultimate Edition. The Ultimate Edition is supposed to be a more high-end figure. There's 2 figures that are going to be available. You have Ronda Rousey, and you have the Ultimate Warrior. So again, links will be in the description box of this chat, as well as the video when it goes on video on demand. So that's WWE. I can go into detail about Marvel Legends. I'm not going to go there. They talked about a little bit about the Captain Marvel stuff. If you wanted to, definitely take a look at it. I have an itch right now. definitely take a look at it. You'll probably find some information online. Now I want to dig really deep into the Funko stuff because there's a lot of stuff to really digest with Funko. So you'll know Toy Fair for London happened about, I want to say 3 weeks ago, approximately. About 3 weeks ago. Yep, I heard about that. I kind of knew about it earlier today. They're going to include China, which is very, very nice. Are they going to include Billy Gunn? Are they going to include... I think Billy Gunn would be the only big question I would have, because he is, I believe, a backstage producer at AEW. So I don't know if they're bringing him in. I think they are. I think they're bringing the entire Generation X group in. It's very, very good to bring in China in posthumously. It's very, very smart that they finally decided to do that. But as mentioned, thank you for the news, Toronto. Some of the information that came out of London Toy Fair, like I said, about 2-3 weeks ago, it's very, very interesting because there's not a lot of bleed through from the London Toy Fair into the Toy Fair for this year's Toy Fair. So it's going to be very, very interesting. They didn't have a lot of duplicate stuff. So let's actually get into it. Most of these links will be coming from a website, again, called Bleeding Cool News. So I'm going to start off with this link right here. I think it would be much easier for me to do it this way so you can follow along at home. First, let's take a look at, if you looked at the link, it said Ghostbuster reveal. So we're talking Ghostbusters first. They have a ton of Ghostbuster stuff. They have looks like a slime or a exploded Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Bankman. Now, here's the tricky part. They have this one, and there's one for Scooby-Doo. And I'll talk about that in a second. But it looks like the firehouse that is standing next to him, I don't know the scale of how big this thing is. It looks like the figure itself is in a standard 6-inch scale. But it looks like the firehouse is much larger. So it leads me to believe, is this going to be like in a 10-inch scale? Or is this really disproportionate and the figure is much smaller? I can't really tell. They don't really give us that information. They just give us a picture. So there's no, you can look at the scale of the figure next to the firehouse, so I don't really know. It's kind of really hard to figure that out. Next, we'll take a look at the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man 10-inch GameStop exclusive, which is rather interesting. Most of these 10-inch pops we've been seeing most of the time were coming out of Target. There is a new Slimer, which will be a translucent figure, which he has the hot dogs coming out the mouth, which looks very, very cool, like that. They have a new wave of Ghostbuster figures, which is, again, that same Slimer with the hot dogs coming out. You had the Walmart one, which will be a translucent version of the same figure. You have the Ghostbusters in, looks like a different set of outfits, and you have, I guess that would be Ray with the goggles. Stay Puft looks very, very good. You have one of the ghosts on the next to it. Then you have a Movie Moments figure of Bankman being slimed with Egon trapping Slimer in a trap with the proton streams and it being sucked into the trap. I like the effect. It looks very, very cool. I'm assuming that's going to be a common pop because nothing here else shows exclusive, at least for that section. Going down further, you have the 5-star figures. If you're not familiar, Funko makes a line of articulated figures, which I kind of put them in kind of not a Dorb and not a Pop. It looks very, very cute, but it's articulated. Yeah, he shouldn't be smiling. He should be freaking out. But go figure. The 5-star figures are kind of neat. They're in special packaging where they have like a Velcro attachment to the card, so you can peel open the figure. You can peel the face open of the packaging and see the figure inside. That's what these 5-star figures are all about. I think the head's going to move, the arms will move, I think the feet may move, and they do come in accessories. The things next to them are their accessories, if you were curious. Next, below that, you have the mini mysteries. So you have another wave of mini mysteries that are coming out. Looks good. I'm assuming it's probably going to be for 8/12. If the packaging looks like this, it's usually 1 of 12. Have they been doing that a lot recently? I don't know if anything's going to be Chase here. Sometimes when you see it look like this, each figure will have equal distribution. So if you buy a case, a full case, you're probably guaranteed every one of the figures. If it's 1 of 12. I could be wrong. Next, we have the specialty series. If you go below that, specialty series that does special pops. Usually, you'll see them at Specialty stores, some retail stores will have them exclusive. Comic stores will have them exclusively. Look, I don't know if the entire wave is going to be specialty at GameStop. It looks like maybe just the Slimer might be an exclusive at GameStop. I don't know if all these are going to be GameStops. I'm thinking maybe the specialty series might be just a translucent figure of Slimer. So maybe the specialty series of Slimer would be on the left, and the only a GameStop one would be on the right. Possibly. I'm not entirely sure there. Next, they have plushies and pens, and a mini pop. So they have some mini pops here. They have a nice plushie. They have, again, another plush. Excuse me. And they have some Slimers on pens. If you do like that stuff, it's pretty cool. If you like the other type of products for Funko. Below that, you have some Pez. I have a Pez right here. I can kind of show you what a Pez would look like for Funko if you've never seen one. Here, what they look like right here. This is a Porg pen, right there. And there's candy inside. It works just like a Pez. So if you've never seen them, they're out in the wild now. All depends what you like. They have tons of different product like this now. So it all depends what you're looking for. But they have a lot of Ghostbusters here. And they do chases. They have done chases with Pez. So you can keep your eyes open for those chases as well. They have some exclusive only at Walmart ones. They have a Slimer glow-in-the-dark one, and they have an Angry State Puff one. And that's it for Ghostbusters for Funko. Again, a lot of stuff there. Next, we're going to take a look at some of the stuff that I'm not really keen on. Here's the next link. It's going to be Rick and Morty, Jaws, Caddyshack, and more. So I'll let you guys load it up. Rick and Morty, again, not a big fan of Rick and Morty. I know a lot of people out there collect Rick and Morty stuff. They love Rick and Morty. That's like the next generation of Family Guy, South Park, Bob's Burgers, that more adult-oriented cartoon. Again, not my thing, but I know a lot of people out there who really, really like it. So I never really watched it. They have some Barnes & Noble exclusives, some Hot Topic exclusives, some common ones. So again, a lot of these are even concept subject to license approval. So some of these haven't even been agreed upon in licensing yet. This is what they're going to look like, though. So looks good. Next, they have Pretty Woman. Looks like Pretty Woman got they got their hands on the Funko license. Or Funko license got their hands, rather, on Pretty Woman. They have a normal version and a chase version of that one. Pretty cool. Forrest Gump has decided to make its debut in Funko. So they have them playing tennis and him with the box of chocolates. Very cool. You have Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke. That's more of a vinyl figure. 2-pack. They have Beverly Hills Cop. They got the license for that as well, which looks good. Standard. It looks like there's no chases or exclusivity on that one. Next, you have Aliens celebrating its 40th anniversary. There's a bunch of different things here. There's pops, there's pocket pops, there's vinyls. I do like, it looks like Big Champ. I'm thinking the blue one or the one right above it. Usually when you have the skull like that, I think that might be Big Champ. I could be wrong. It might be coming out of the Aliens 3 movie, maybe, or Aliens 4. I'm not sure which one. You have a nice little pocket pop keychain. You have, looks like the vinyl 2-pack at the bottom. You have Ripley, I'm guessing, and with the kitty cat. So it looks good. Not a huge Aliens fan, more Predator fan than Aliens fan. I believe probably the Ripley with the kitty cat on the far right side will be the limited edition version. That's coming from the Funko store. Below that, you have Caddyshack. Caddyshack is making their debut into the Funko line, which is very, very cool. The chase one is one with him blindfolded, which looks very, very cool. You have the beaver. You have to have the beaver. If you've never seen Caddyshack, go watch Caddyshack. You'll understand the beaver. Or actually, not beaver, gopher. It was a gopher, not a beaver. Next to it, you have some Pez. They're doing Pez for that as well. This one's kind of surprising. We got the Jaws shark. I knew they were going to do a Jaws shark because they've done one for a different product for Jaws. But they gave us a 6-inch pop. And if you go below that one, they have one with the gas tank in its mouth, which was, of course, the ending of, I believe, the first Jaws movie. Looks good. Different to see a shark. You have, of course, the 3 main characters from the Jaws movie at the bottom. Again, looks very, very cool. MIB, which is going to be a resurgence in the MIB license this year. The limited edition Funko Store one, which you have Will Smith with Noisy Cricket. You have one of the worms, and you have, I can't remember his name now, his partner, Tommy Lee Jones. That's who it was, Tommy Lee Jones. You have the guy who's the bug, and you have another Will Smith with the pug and the neuralizer. Looks very, very good. I do like the one with the Noisy Cricket though. That one I think looks the best. And that's that wave of figures. Going to the next one, we're going to be doing animation. It looks like. Get the full link here. I'll drop it in the chat for you. Boom. This is what I was talking about earlier. We'll get to that in a second. This is going to be another wave of Simpson Pops. They do look good. You have one Hot Topic exclusive in this wave. I guess that might be a Homer, I'm assuming. I haven't watched Simpsons in years, so I'm assuming that's probably Homer. And it looks like in a dress, I guess. I don't know. But that's what it looks like to me. But, I mean, that's the only one that looks to be a Hot Topic exclusive, is the one with him in a dress. Next, we have Betty Boop. Looks like Betty Boop, I guess it's a mermaid, a Betty Boop. She looks good. Doesn't look like it's an exclusive. Then we have Garfield. Garfield has come in with some Funko product. 3 Pops, 2 Garfields, 1 Odie. Again, not bad looking. Next, we have Scooby-Doo. And I want you guys to take a look at the Scooby-Doo one in that link. Because as I was mentioning with the Ghostbusters firehouse with the Venkman that was blown up from the Stay Puft, we have Scooby-Doo, a different version of Scooby-Doo compared to the one we saw before. I believe the one we have, because I have that Pop, which I think he's sitting like he's crouching down. This one he's on all fours and his tongue is hanging out. I believe it was different than the first release of Scooby-Doo. But we have the mystery, the haunted house that always shows up at the beginning of the Scooby-Doo cartoon. Again, I don't know the scale of this haunted house. Very similar to the firehouse for Ghostbusters. I don't know if this is a smaller Scooby with a 6-inch house, or is this a 6-inch Pop with a 10-inch house, haunted house. I don't know the scale. We don't have a scale to judge by this. I can see them putting out either sort of idea. That's what I can personally think of. If you have let's say a Pocket Pop Scooby-Doo, and let's say a 3-inch, maybe there could be 2-packs Toronto. I don't know. I don't know. I have nothing to go by. I have no scale to go by. I have no examples to go by. And then I might be doing the same thing with the SpongeBob SquarePants too, with the pineapple under the sea. I think that's the same sort of idea. It looks like here it says new line coming from, it's a new line coming from Funko. It's called Funko Pop Town, and will feature Pops along with their homes and buildings included. The first 2 revealed are Scooby-Doo with a haunted mansion and SpongeBob SquarePants with a pineapple home. Again, I have no scale to compare this to. It's called Funko Pop Town. That's their name for that wave. But again, we have no scale to compare this to. It looks like a standard Pop to me. Which would be about 3 inches in size. This house looks much larger. I would put it maybe like this. Maybe. I mean, if we consider a Pop this big, let's say a Pop is this big, it looks like maybe 2.5 times the size. So maybe that's what you're doing. I don't know. Let me redo that off the camera. So it's about maybe this big. You have a Pop which is maybe this tall, and a house that maybe is this tall. So I have nothing really to judge the scale by. I'm going by just 2-dimensional view on an image. That's all I have to work with. So that's it for that one. Next one is some anime. This is going to be... it's a show I watched back. I think it was on Toonami. Back in the day. It was the Ghost Files Yu Yu Hakusho. I do remember this cartoon. I didn't see all of it. I know the top 2 characters. I did watch it, and it looks like you have an exclusive. I don't know where the exclusive is going to be going to. I can't tell you because they don't tell me there. So, again, I don't know. But it looks good. It does look nice. I did watch the cartoon years ago. It looks pretty cool. Next, we have a show called Fairy Tale. I don't know anything about this show. They mean cute looking animals, guys that are, I don't know if they're creatures dressed up in suits or if they're people, turned into animals. I don't know anything about the show. Apparently, it's very, very popular. Next is something very unique. It looks like Castlevania has gotten picked up from Funko as well. And apparently it's going to be on Netflix, which I didn't know about until I looked at the little icon in the top, which says Castlevania only on Netflix. So it looks like Netflix has, what's the word I'm looking for, has procured the rights to the Castlevania property. So it's going to be very interesting seeing what they do with Castlevania itself. So I think it's very, very interesting. It looks like, again, no exclusives are out. So these should be all commons, I'm assuming. Next, we have another 5-star wave of figures from My Hero Academia. Again, as I mentioned, the 5-star stuff is products that are very similar to, let's say, Dorbs and a Funko Pop. Just they look a little more cutesy. There is articulation, and they do come with accessories. If you notice, if you scroll down looking through the section I'm on right now, you'll see that each of these figures have some type of accessory. So it's kind of cool that they come with little pieces that you can have the figure hold. So I do like that. To the right of that, you have some Pops. You have an Entertainment Earth exclusive of Deku, and you have a Hot Topic exclusive of Deku. So that looks nice. And that's it for that one. Moving on to... This one's kind of interesting. This is more of the music one here. So it looks like you have NSYNC Pops coming out. I know a lot of people are going to be interested in that because they were at one time fans of the boy band craze, so they might want these Pops. Backstreet Boys also. So you have Backstreet Boys and NSYNC in their white outfits. You have Posse Company. You have Post Malone. I think his name is Post Malone. He's coming out with a Pop. Then you have the Migos. I don't know anything about them. I guess they're rappers, I guess. And then probably the big one that came out for... the Castlevania Pops look very good, Jackie. The big one I would say would be the Kiss. The Kiss Funko. No exclusives. So that's going to be very good. I'm very happy about that. Then you have, which is very, very interesting, they came out 2 versions of Johnny Cash. I'm not a big country guy, but I do like some of the songs that Johnny Cash has. People call him country, but if you listen to his stuff, a lot like for example, Ring of Fire, it doesn't sound like a country song. It sounds more of like, I would say, light rock than anything else. So that's it for that one. Yeah, I know Kiss. I'm not a big Kiss fan, but that one pretty big. Next one we have is some Street Fighter and some Marvel. And this is going to be, it looks very similar to their Primal Age figures. They did figures in the Primal Age for DC, and the characters look like He-Man figures. It's built that way intentionally. So you have Ryu looking like a He-Man guy. You have Chun-Li in 2 different versions. You have the blue outfit, and then you have a Chase version of her in the purpley pink pink with, I guess, copper. Same thing with Blanca. Blanca has a Chase. You have normal Blanca, and you have, think of it as 1 player, 2 player. The second player is the Chase, and you have an M. Bison. Apparently, I think they're going to have Mortal Kombat ones coming out too. You have a wave of Marvel Pez. Of course, you do. Star Wars Pez. There are some Chase ones there. As I mentioned, there are Chase Pez dispensers, which is kind of cool if you're looking for those collectability things. Same deal with Disney. Disney's going to be doing some Pez as well. Wreck-It Ralph. Again, more Pez. Hanna-Barbera has Pez. Mainly because I think was more of a gospel singer in some country. Yeah, I agree. I believe the Hanna-Barbera has a big take in Funko because I think the CEO is a big fan of Hanna-Barbera. That's why you'll see a lot of Hanna-Barbera properties that get picked up. You have Bob's Big Boy as a pedal dispenser, which is, I think, their very first Funko product was Bob's Big Boy. Then we have the Green Giant, the Green Giant itself, the mascot, as a Pez dispenser. He also has a set of Funko Pops coming out as a single figures and a 2-pack, if I remember correctly. Then we have X-Men. We have some rock candy, and you have some Dark Phoenix stuff. This is very, very important because of the Dark Phoenix saga with the new X-Men movie coming out. They're trying to really pump that up. You have a glow-in-the-dark chase, Hot Topic exclusive, it looks like. So keep your eyes open for that. Hellboy has a new pop coming out with the new Hellboy movie coming out, so it makes a lot of sense. That makes a whole lot of sense, actually. It looks like you have Pet Sematary as another property coming out as well, which the new Pet Sematary movie will be coming out this year. Very, very cool. I'm very happy about this, that Jim Henson is getting immortalized in Funko. There's 2 versions of one that's holding a Kermit and one that's holding Ernie, famous for Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. That one is a Target exclusive. I do like that. I think it's very, very cool that Jim Henson is getting a pop. I think that's very, very cool. The Green Giant, here's what I was talking about. You have a normal version and a 2-pack version coming out. It looks identical from what I'm seeing here. I'm guessing it's the same figure, except instead of buying them individually, you can buy them as a 2-pack set. So that's, I guess, if you want that. Finally, the Kool-Aid Man, oh yeah, is getting to Funko form. Very, very cool about that. I know a lot of people who are customizers. Excuse me. They're customizers, and they really wanted a Kool-Aid, and now we're getting a Kool-Aid Man. Hey, Fred, thanks for coming into the chat tonight, my friend. Everything that we talked about on the video will be on the video on demand. If you want to take a look at it, you're more than welcome to. Every piece of the stream tonight I'm putting into the chat so you guys can follow along. Thank you for coming in, taking a look at the content. Next is Super Troopers. Super Troopers, I'm assuming this is from the first movie. I've never seen Super Troopers. It looks like they're getting pops as well. Yeah, it looks very, very similar to how he would look. Thank you, yes. I don't know if we should have made him a 6-inch or standard size, because Kool-Aid was always over the top. I can see them making a 6-inch or a 10-inch pop, especially at Target. I can see a big one just scaled up bigger. I can absolutely see that. Super Troopers, as I mentioned. We have Illumination. We're going to be doing Pets 2. That's a new movie coming out this year. You have Snowball in his I guess, his superhero identity. I saw the first Pets movie. Very, very fun movie. If you've never seen Pets, I highly recommend taking a look at it. And that's it for that one. And now we'll head over to the last one I have, which I saved really the best for last. And there's a reason why I saved this one for last. We're looking at a lot of the TV stuff right now. We're first looking at Sanford and Son. Very, very cool that they gave Sanford and Son. If you've never seen Sanford and Son, it's an old school 70s TV show. Very, very hip black guys. The guy on the left is the son to the older guy, and he always would fake a heart attack. Always like, Lucy, I'm going to be coming. You know, it's very, very silly. Fred Sanford, I think his name is. I could be wrong on the name. Or Red Sanford, but he'd always go, I'm coming! You know, I can't remember his wife's name, but he would always, like, fake a heart attack. Always. It was like, that was, like, his big gimmick in the show. Very cool that they had pops that. Then we have something called Billions. I'm not sure what Billions is. I'm assuming it's some type of TV show. I've never heard of it, never seen it, so I don't know anything about it. Fred Sanford. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you, Fred. That's going to be a wave of 4 pops. Then we get Cheers. This is kind of surprising that Cheers, they got the license for Cheers. I don't think they got the license for Seinfeld yet because of Jerry is just very much into the licenses and stuff like that. He won't let go of the license. So Cheers is kind of cool. I don't think no Frasier though. Red Fox, that was his real name. Thank you, Jackie. It was something like that. I was close to it. So looks like there's no chases for the Cheers wave. Dawson's Creek, I know there was a lot of people who liked Dawson's Creek. It was classic show back in, I think, in the 90s. Yeah, very adult. They're holding beers because the show took place at a bar. I mean, that's what they normally did. That was their thing. They took place in a bar. That was the whole show. Dawson's Creek. Again, there's no chases here. It looks like everything is standard pops. Next we have, I'm kind of surprised about this, we got Hercules and Xena. The Hercules, the Kevin Sorbo one, looks very, very good. Xena one, again, looks very, very good. It'd be nice if they had a Xena Gabrielle 2-pack. I think that would be very cool. I used to watch Xena back in the day. Jockster would be great to have as well. I can't remember Bruce Willis's character's name. He was, I believe, a thief, I believe his character was. I haven't seen Xena in a very, very long time. But I think that would be cool to expand that line if they want to go into more for the Xena and Hercules stuff. I think that would be very, very cool. Addams Family is getting some stuff. They're getting some love. Very, very classic TV show. They made movies out of it. Very, very happy to make the Addams Family in Funko form. It looks like we have some exclusives. 2-pack black and white one on the right side of the screen. We have... that's some good Sorbo hair. I agree. That's some excellent Kevin Sorbo hair. The 2-pack we have on the right side, black and white. And we have, I can't remember what the uncle's name was. I think my Uncle Fester might have been. And he has the light bulb in his mouth. That's a Walgreens exclusive. Very, very cool item. Next is the item that I really want the most. And if you guys know anything about my channel, Fred, you're new to my channel. So one of the first Funko Pops that I actually got invested in when I switched over from Transformers and G.I. Joe about 5-6 years ago was Big Bang Theory. And Big Bang Theory, when I started collecting Funko, I did not keep the boxes. Because when I was collecting Funko at that time, I didn't care about the boxes. I just wanted the pops. That's really what I wanted when I was collecting back in the day. When I first broke into Funko, I threw the packaging away. I have the original wave of Big Bang Theory pops. I also have the exclusives when they're partially beamed up in their Starfleet. Yep, Uncle Fester. When they're partially beamed up, I think they're 1,000 and I want to say 1,088 figures. I don't know if it will devalue the pops at all, because this is a new wave of pops, and this wave is completely different than the first wave, and there's no similarity with the sculpts at all. So, I mean, I don't know if they're going to devalue the pops. And the pops are a little bit more pricey now, but I lost the boxes. I threw them out. The ones that are partially beamed up, those are still in the packaging. I still have them as well. So what makes this wave of pops very cool is that these are taking moments from the show. We have Raj in the first one drinking I think it was, I can't remember the drink's name. But for him to talk to women, he'd have to get drunk. That's how he'd have to talk. That's the only way. When the first few seasons of the show, he couldn't talk to any females. He'd have to be intoxicated to chat with them. We have Howard's wife, Bernadette. You can tell by the big glasses. That was her outfit she wore for the Cheesecake Factory, it looks like. We have Leonard with his sarcasm sign in his PJs. Great. I'm getting that one, absolutely. The Penny one is funny because there was an episode where she got addicted to MMOs. And it was I believe it was Warcraft. Or it was either Warcraft. They showed, I think, Warcraft, and I think they showed Conan. I think that's when she was addicted to Conan, the Conan RPG. And she's holding her laptop. That's what that little pink thing in her hand, that's her laptop. She was disheveled, and she was literally like laying on the couch with I'm about to say she has a Cheeto in her hair. That was the gag in the episode. She had the Cheeto sticking out of her hair. So it's a very, 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 very funny episode. If you haven't seen an episode of Big Bang Theory, you have to watch it. The bottom set, you have Howard in his astronaut outfit. He had to go up to the space station. I think it was a Soviet space. Well, Soviet. It was our normal space station above Earth right now. And he dressed up as an astronaut. He actually flew and took a rocket up. Now there was a running storyline throughout one of the seasons. So on one of the last episodes, he was fired up into space. You have Sheldon in more of a dressed outfit here. Looks like he's doing a live long and prosper thing. You have Amy Farrah Fowler, which of course is Sheldon's girlfriend, then now wife, and she has a tiara. That was a big running gag. And you have, I'm drawing a blank on his name now. I'm drawing a blank on his Stewart. That's what it was. So Stewart, and he has a comic book store. And I can't tell what he's holding in his hand from this perspective. I can't see what he has. But this wave of figures, I'm going to be buying the entire wave. I'm happy there's no exclusive figures, at least what I'm seeing here. I'm going to get the entire wave because I got the first series of Big Bang Theory Pops, short of any crazy exclusives like you might have Sheldon in a different shirt. You might have him even crazier, like, you know, he might be in a Flash shirt instead of the Green Lantern shirt. I didn't have any of that stuff. I just had him in a standard Green Lantern shirt because I'm a big Green Lantern fan, and that's what I wanted. So I'm going to get this entire wave. I'm very, very happy to have another wave of Big Bang Theory Pops. It will be on my collection. As soon as these come out, these will be bought, most likely at Toy Hunt. Keep your eyes open, guys, for that. Next, we have something below that called the Community. I don't know what that is. I have no clue what this is. I've never heard of it. I can't tell you what that will be. So, no clue about that. Again, I have no clue. Next, we have some stuff from game shows. We have Jeopardy. You have 2 Pops. One that's normal and one that's a chase. It looks like they just made it different color. It's sort of the same one, but there's some differences to it. Then you have Wheel of Fortune. You have some Vanna Whites, and you have one different dress. And that's a chase. It looks good. Then you have The Office. I think, yeah, I would agree with that one, Toronto. You'd think it would be the other way around because he's older now. You think that would be the chase one, but I don't know why they went that direction. A young Alex Trebek should be the common. I kind of agree with that. You think the older one would be the chase, but if they've done that before, especially I would say with the I think the biggest culprit was the Finn Balor Demon Pop. That was one where you would think the all dressed out, all crazy, you know, tendrilled Finn Balor would be the chase. That was the FYE exclusive. The half makeup demon was the chase, which I found that very, very odd why they went in that direction for WWE and Funko, why they picked the half demon Finn to be the chase instead of the full, complete makeup with the head dressing and everything to be the chase pop. I don't know why they took that road. I can't tell you. I'm not quite sure. But we had, like I said, Vanna White's. The red dress looks good. And Pat Sajak holding the little envelope looks good as well. Next, we have The Office. I don't know much about the TV show. I know my girl watches the show, and she really, really likes it. You have a chase version with a guy with the name Book on his face. Yeah, he's always sticking out, but that would be the FYE one. That's on the far right corner of the screen. If you ever watch my videos, on the far right corner of the screen, you'll see a set of my WWE Pops. You always see Finn over there. So I said the Book one is a chase. You have the Office 2-pack. No exclusive there. And that's all the exclusives and all of my footage for Toy Fair 2019 rather. That's all stuff that I wanted to talk about. A couple things to talk about. We're nearing the hour mark here, so I'm happy I got everything I needed to talk about. A couple things going forward, so you guys will know. Next week will be another 1-hour special stream. And why I'm doing a 1-hour special stream, especially new people coming into the chat, new people. Awesome, Fred. I advise if you're just getting into Funko, buy the stuff that you like. Funko has a massive collection. Buy Funko because you like the stuff, or you like a particular wave of figures, or a particular set of pops. Don't buy them and go completely crazy. I went nutty for. I have close to 400 pops, I think, in my collection. And nowhere near Cletus Selden, who helped put together my streaming. He's a professional boxer. I've talked about him before in the past. I think he has close to 3,000 pops now. I think he has one of the largest collections in the U.S. He's completely insane. I don't know why you do that. Yeah, I have a lot of Funko Mystery Box stuff. If you're talking about, are you talking, Toronto, about the mini mystery boxes? Are you talking the small figures? Yeah, so what I would recommend doing, Fred, is buy the stuff that you like, first and foremost. Buy the stuff that you're interested in. Uh, Funko, one thing about Funko is the price for Funko stuff is usually not super expensive. Most of the time, you're looking about $9 to $12 for a pop. Yeah, the Vanna Chase will be harder to find. So I would buy the stuff that you want first and foremost. Going forward, as mentioned, next week will be another 1 hour stream. Normally my streams are 30 minutes. Ah, okay. Um, I know what you're talking about, Toronto. I've seen websites selling that sort of stuff. Um, don't know yet. I'm still waiting for Collector's Case to uh, get back into their rhythm. They have not yet restarted their business model yet. I'm waiting for it. If you like Ghostbusters and Star Wars stuff, Fred, I would really recommend buying a wave of pops for a bit of Star Wars that you like, because that is the guy I was talking about earlier, Cletus. That's his main focus, is Star Wars. I think he owns every single Star Wars pop that was ever created, exclusive, special boxing of it, and anything that was Star Wars, he buys. I buy a few different things. If you eventually I'm going to have a toy collection walkthrough. I just haven't done one yet, but I'll showcase all my Star Wars stuff. Uh, Buy the Star Wars figures that you like. It's very daunting to try to get the entire wave. Buy the waves that you want. A lot of people might skip on certain things. Buy the stuff that you want. If you take a look at my content, Fred, you'll see a lot of Star Wars stuff. I do a lot of Star Wars reviews, Funko stuff. I do a lot of action figures for Black Series. That's stuff I really follow. Yeah, we actually, when we did our first, when he helped me set up my stream, if you go back to my catalog to one of the first streams, him and I were talking about the cancellation of the mystery boxes. So him and I were streaming simultaneously. So eventually, when he comes back down to South Florida, him and I are going to go on another toy hunt. We're definitely going to do that. The as I mentioned, this coming week, my next week rather, which would be the 25th, looking at my calendar, will be my 1 year anniversary of streaming on YouTube. It's going to be another special 1 hour stream. My streams are normally 30 minutes. I decided to pieces, and it was easier to control and easier to put out the content for a 30-minute stream instead of an hour-long stream. But for special events, toy fairs, New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, special events, big news that drops, something like this, which would be my 1 year anniversary of YouTube, as far as streaming goes. My 2 year anniversary, actually my 2000 would be 16, 17, my third year anniversary of YouTube would be July 4th, which would be my third year anniversary of YouTube. I started my channel on July 4th, 2016. So 2019 would be 3 years for July 4th. I have a couple things planned already. There are going to be giveaways absolutely for that month. Not going to be doing any scavenger hunts this time, but keep a lookout for next week's stream. That's going to be an hour-long stream. This coming Wednesday, if everything goes according to plan, would be the second Funko Pop Battle video. I talked about it before on the stream. We're going to be doing Star Wars. Fred, if you like Star Wars, it's going to be when I do a Funko Pop Battle, it's a new segment I debuted a month ago, where I take two pops from a likewise continuity or likewise universe and put them against each other in a set of challenges. I compare packaging, paint, articulation, and gimmicks against the other pop. Completely objective. I'm not using my bias. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm telling you exactly what I see on the pop. I'm telling the viewer, hey, here's what's going on. And then what I want to do is I have the audience vote on what pop they think wins the Funko Pop Battle. I take ideas. If you have ideas for future pop battles, let me know. So this coming Wednesday, if everything goes according to plan, it's going to be Star Wars. We're going to be doing Commander Cody against Captain Rex. That's going to be this Wednesday's Funko Pop Battle. Two gimmick pops. One was a Walgreens pop. One was New York Comic Con 2018. I think they're both going to be very tight head-to-head. One pop has an unfair advantage over another, and I'll talk more about that in that video. And that's about it, guys. I want to thank everyone who came into the stream tonight. I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed my Toy Fair 2019 coverage. I covered pretty much as I possibly could in an hour. They had so much stuff there, I could spend a couple more hours just going through all the stuff. I mean, pages of stuff. Statues, action figures. I can go through tons of stuff. So I want to thank everybody who came into the stream tonight. You will find this stream on YouTube on video on demand. If you missed any of the links I provided, they will be in the description box, so you can click on those links at your leisure. I'm going to be cutting the stream tonight, guys, in 3, 2, 1. Take care, guys. Thanks for coming to the stream, and bye-bye.